Please welcome Columbia Falls High School student Estevon Torres. Estevon will be reading an essay that is written by a fellow classmate as performed at the Columbia Falls Speak Out event this spring.
Today I want to share with you the reasons I go to school, the challenges I faced, and how collectively these things have shaped me into a better person as a whole. What challenges do I face? Well, you may be thinking that maintaining this level of oh so attractive gorgeousness must be the leading challenge for me. But I assure you, this beauty applies itself with little need of attention. I've grown up in a household with a loving mom, but I can't say the same for my dad. To make it simple, the guy's a drug addict. His desires are fulfilled not with the development and love for his family, but from whatever substance that he can abuse, be it alcohol, marijuana, or pills. From before I was even born, he had been a mess. For years, my mom thought he'd eventually stop and turn his life around. But finally, she saw she can't live with so much insecurity as well as continue to put her children through it too. How could this all go on for almost 20 years without someone finally saying, enough? How could a man neglect his family and be so reckless? There have been days where he's been so unpredictable with his drug and alcohol abuse that I'd spend the night at a friend or relative's house, wake up, and go to school, just like everyone else. Last year, there was a night where my dad had drunkenly gotten into an argument with me. He thought he ought to put me into my place. He challenged me to a more physical altercation in front of my mother and younger sister. My mom called the cops, and I shoved him back and held him off until the police arrived. I talked with the officer that night. So did my dad. The policeman came back to my room and told me he couldn't do anything to help us. Right there, I learned that those you believe could save you from a dreadful situation can't always be counted on. From there on, it felt like a matter of survival until he'd end up imprisoned or dead. Well, he ended up getting caught in some kind of trouble and spent 6 months away from us, only to come back and slowly repeat the same cycle that has occurred all my life. On top of this, my only steady father figure in my life, my grandfather, died this last November. That was just catastrophic for me. I really hit a low point in my life there. Life's not easy. Anyone can tell you that, but so much truth lies within those words. It's hard to be a stellar athlete and leader in the classroom when you have your world crumbling all around you. In the end, challenge is what drives me. There was a time where not many, including myself, believed in me. I didn't know what I was going to do with this thing called life. My sophomore year, I finally understood that I can be whatever I want to be. It was just dependent on my efforts. I had an epiphany that year. But it wasn't until my junior year that people started to see the results from my hard work. I went from being a 5'8", 158-pound weakling with a trashy GPA to being a stout 6 foot, 173 pounds and receiving a 3.5 GPA on top of the stresses at home. These accolades and achievements mean a lot to me, but what means more are the values I've learned along the way. These values being resilience, toughness, compassion, hard work, and integrity. What I've seen at home has shaped my outlook on how I desire to develop in my adult life. Through the weaknesses of my father, I've learned the importance of respect, diligence, loyalty, and being a good man. All of this leads to my last point. Why do I come to school? I continue to come to school because the work isn't over. I've struggled to overcome many obstacles, and I've made a promise to myself that I'm not going to sell myself short. I've learned so much, but it doesn't stop there. I still press on to succeed. Graduation is just another step in the right direction. School to me is so much more than just getting what I need and moving on. There are hundreds of different kids with hundreds of different stories and challenges. I go to school so that maybe I can serve a helping hand, a voice of reason, or to serve as an example for those who have lived through tough times like I have. No matter what your story is, we're in this together, and you have what it takes to succeed. I know that school can be incredibly difficult and life can be absolutely brutal. However, focus on the good things because from here, it's only going to get better. I'll leave you with some advice that helped me through both school and life. The first is work hard in everything you do. Be known as a hard worker wherever you go. Don't reserve your efforts for sports or grades. Work hard to be great in every aspect of your life. Secondly, be honest with yourself and never forget where you came from. For me, it's the hardships and challenges that I've experienced that have pushed me to become what I am today. The last piece of advice I have is to love. Don't harden your hearts. Let yourself feel and spread positivity. Don't limit yourself. Don't reject your feelings. Love yourself, love each other, and love all the great gifts you've been given. Thank you.